Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm in the mood for some pasta tonight. So let's make some Bolognese sauce. We'll get it done now and we'll have it all ready for tonight. And later on today, I'm going to make some pasta. So who's a fan of Bolognese? Lots of different recipes I've seen. I am going to just do the one that I know. So I've got some olive oil heating up. And I've got everything chopped up and ready to go. So we've got, let's see here. We've got a coarsely chopped onion, celery, and carrots. Chop it really small. 3 cloves of garlic. About 8 basil leaves. Chiffonade here. Look at that. From my plant. And I didn't have parsley, so I've got some dried parsley. I've got a can of tutto rosso crushed tomatoes, salt and pepper, and about a little over a pound of ground beef. I like also to use a mix like pork, like you do for your meatballs, pork, veal, and ground meat, but I forgot and I just grabbed this one by accident, but it really doesn't matter. They all come out great. It'll thicken up really nice in the sauce. Let me just get all of this ready to go. So this isn't kind of like a sauce that has to cook all day like your regular. So I like to start out with the carrots and celery and onion first because I want them to really cook down. Let's see if that's hot enough. So we're going to do that first. I'm going to put the garlic in a little after because that cooks really fast and we do not want that to burn. Okay. Let's just get this in here. So what is your favorite sauce? I also love, love, love vodka sauce. That is one of my favorites. And I am going to add a little bit of heavy cream to this at the very end. Not a lot because you don't want to lighten it up too much, but I just want to richen it up a little bit. So we're going to do that. So who's on today? We've got hi Sherry, hi Stace. Have you guys made this sauce before? Super, super easy. It comes together really quick. Plus, you're getting your veggies in there. So especially if you have those picky eaters, it kind of breaks down and they don't notice that it's in the sauce because it turns red and you got the meat in there. So they don't see all the veggies. So it's a good way to hide it into your meal. So I'm going to set my timer because I'm a chatty Cathy. I'm going to do this about, I'm going to say 8 minutes. Let's see here. And if you don't want to stick around, that's fine. I'm just going to leave it on while I'm cooking. So we're going to just cut this down. And right at the very end, for a couple, like 30 seconds, we'll put the garlic in just to release the flavors. Again, you don't want that garlic to burn. And then we'll start adding our meat and seasonings and then tomatoes. Super easy. And this is going to be really nice on the homemade pasta. I think I'm going to make some, let's see, what are we doing today? I am going to make, I think I'm going to make some fettuccine noodles. Do you have KitchenAid? I actually have 2 pasta cutters. I've got the one with my Pampered Chef mixer and I've got the one with my KitchenAid mixer. I like the KitchenAid a little better only because it's got a wider, what's it called? Wire roller, so I get a little bit more pasta noodles out of that. Hi, Miss Kelly. Hi, George. So if you're just popping on, we're making some Bolognese sauce, and then later on I'm going to make some homemade pasta, and then this will be ready to go when we're ready to eat. So the difference and the best thing with the homemade pasta is if you're making it from fresh, it takes like 3 to 4 minutes to cook. If it's frozen, 5, 6 tops if you like it a little bit softer, but so easy to throw a meal together right away. Okay, let's see here, we got 6 minutes about. And then I'm going to throw in my garlic and then my meat. Okay. You can use a mix. Today we're only using ground beef, but again, the veal, pork, and beef gives it a really nice flavor. Some people do put like a little Chianti wine in it to deglaze the pan and add a little bit more flavor, but I don't have any any wine here. So we're going to just make do with what we have. And this is our, excuse me, our Brilliant saute pan. It's got a really nice deep base. It's nice and flat. I use this one so that our ground meat had a bigger cooking space and it'll cook up a little bit quicker. Okay. I love the smell of carrots and celery and garlic and onion. It smells really good. And we're just cooking this down. We just want it to soften up because you don't want like hard, firm pieces in your sauce. Okay. There we go. Just want to see if it's mushy enough. It's getting there. So make sure when you're making this, you cut all of your pieces down really fine because it'll cook down a lot faster and you won't have these hard chunks in your sauce. Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to start adding my garlic. So you're kind of eyeballing it. I say 8 minutes, but it doesn't have to be 8 minutes. Just kind of look. It really depends on how big your pieces are. Okay, as soon as you start smelling that garlic, then we're going to add our meat in it. Okay. There we go. And then once the meat is in, we'll start adding our, excuse me, salt, pepper, our chopped up basil, and parsley. Okay. Well, that smells really good. All right, I think we're good to go. We're going to add our ground meat in. Again, this is a little bit over a pound of ground meat. Okay, let's chop her up. I don't know if you have our twist and chop here, guy, but ground up your meat really nice. Breaks up all those pieces to get it nice and small. You could use a spoon. I just like to use what's easiest. And once we get it ground up, we'll make sure that we mix in all of our veggies with it and then just let it cook. Okay. There we go. Get it out there. Now I'm just going to flip it, get some of those veggies into my meat. Super, super easy. Now, if you don't have the time and you're working, you can make this within 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes after work. And you can also make it the day before. It heats up really nicely. Okay, let's see here. Let's get it nice and flat. I'm going to put this on 5 minutes because it's already cooking. So what are you guys having for dinner tonight? What kind of sauce is this? It is Bolognese, share. Again, it's got carrots, celery, garlic, onions, ground meat in it. Super, super tasty. It goes on any kind of pasta. And it is really tasty. Now, again, you could add a little Chianti wine or red wine or even a white wine. But I don't have any. And I'm really not supposed to be drinking yet because I'm still on a ton of medicine. Because I was blessed to get pneumonia the last 18 days. So I'm finally starting to feel better. But I'm going to omit any alcohol for a little bit. But it'll just give it another depth of flavor. So you don't really need it. But we will be adding in some heavy cream, just a little bit at the very end to richen it up a bit. And you don't want to put too much because you don't want to lighten the sauce up really light and make it heavy. And we just want to get all of this meat cooked before we start adding everything else in. Okay. There we go. So I think, though, I'm going to make a bunch of fettuccine noodles because that's my favorite. any kind of pasta sauce, or you could do like a nice angel hair. I'm not a big fan of linguine or spaghetti for that matter. I don't know why. I just don't like the thickness and texture of it. I like a really light pasta. Okay. This is browning up nicely. It smells delicious. Let's see, just want to lighten that up. Who's on? Hey, Lise. I'm making chicken mole in my crock pot. I don't think I've had that, Shar. What kind of flavor is that? Is that spicy? George is making some cube steak smothered in onions and roasted peppers. Oh, that sounds great, George. Hi, Adriana. Hope you guys are doing well. It feels so good to get back in the kitchen. I have never had so much pastina, and it was so comforting and quick and easy to make. I don't know if you've seen some of my pictures or videos, but I was living on pastina for like 10 days, and it was so good. I think Robert has mastered it now. I'm so proud of him. He did really good making that every night. I think I had it like almost every day. But I think I'm ready to start cooking again. Really, really trying to find some good summertime light meals because the heat here, I don't know about you, but it is too hot for me, and it's only May. And I just can't seem to cool off, so I'm gotta find some more summer salads, grilled vegetables. So stay tuned. I'm hoping to find some better things to make that are lighter, and we don't have to turn the oven on. All right, so now we're gonna add our basil. Okay, again, this is fresh basil from my plant outside. I can't wait. My father or my mom put together a parsley plant for me because I really like to have my own seasonings here when I'm cooking. I'm using dried parsley because, I don't have fresh. And then we're going to pour in our crushed tomatoes. This one has got basil in it as well. Okay. And then we will add some salt and pepper to taste, and we can always add more later. There we go. Just going to put a little bit of water in here to get the rest of it out. Not too much, because you don't want to add water. There we go. And we're going to mix this all up and add our salt and pepper. And that's pretty much it. And this will thicken up really nicely. And then once it's at the consistency we want, then we'll add a little bit of heavy cream. And heavy cream is optional. You do not need to add it. There we go. Let me get this all mixed up nicely. And we'll put some fresh ground pepper. Now you could put a little bit of red pepper if you like a more spicy sauce. We don't. So, but if you do, by all means, add that. Okay, mix it up. And this is going to thicken up really nicely. All right? It smells absolutely delicious. So we'll let some of the sauce and the water that was in the sauce there cook down and have a nice thick meat sauce kind of. There we go. Let me zoom in for you. I'm going to flip you around. How do I flip her? Okay. Here we go. Look at that. Does that not look good or what? Okay. Whoops. I think I'm losing you here. Let me flip you back. So I'm going to keep you on while I'm cooking sherry. It has a lot of spice in it, but it's not spicy. I used to make it for the kids. Sounds good. Yes, chocolate is a really nice addition when you're making, like, say, a chili or any kind of sauce like that, or even stuff with cumin and stuff. The chocolate powder or whatnot really gives it a nice deep flavor, but you don't want to put too much because you don't want to taste chocolate. But yeah, that has a nice taste to it. And this smells so good. And now, pretty much, let's see here. I'm not going to put my cream in yet. I want it to cook down more, but you could, once you're all done and you top it onto your pasta, add some nice fresh grated Parmesan cheese. That'll really give it a nice flavor. Let's lower this. And then I'm just going to cover this once it's done, and I'll heat it all up when we're ready to go for dinner. But oh, it looks so good. It smells delicious. So have you made this before, anybody? Who is on? Let me see here. Indeed it does. Are we popping? Don't want to be making a mess here. Let's see here. If I can't see your comments, I'm sorry. There we go. All right. So pretty much it. Was that not easy or what? And it's not from a can, and it just smells delicious. Hi, Sherry. How are you doing? Sherry? George, you should make this. I think you'd really like it, but I would definitely make it with the 3 meats, just to have more flavor. And a little bit of Chianti or red wine or even white wine. Just like 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup tops, and let it cook off before you add your sauce to it. But it's going to get nice and thick. And it just smells absolutely delicious. It looks delicious. Look at that. And again, it's a good way to hide veggies from the kids. So the smaller pieces that you make with your carrots and your celery and onion, it'll mix in a lot nicer into the sauce. I didn't have time to make bread, unfortunately. I would have loved to dip some bread into this right now. But pretty much that is it. We are done. Look at that. 1 can of crushed tomatoes, and we have a whole sauce. This will cover a good pound of pasta. Hopefully one day I will learn how to can. I want to start making a bunch of different sauces, can them so I could just grab them when I want them. For some reason, I just can't seem to master it. So I'm sure it's something very easy, but I really got to learn how to do it. But it really didn't take us that long to make this either, right? Alright, so I will show you later on tonight, once I make my pasta and we plate it, I will post a picture. If you want this recipe, let me know. I'll be happy to put it in the comments or send it to you. But really, not much to it, and it just looks and smells delicious. Okay? You guys have a great night, and happy cooking. Bye.